folks, this video was produced and filmed with and by Bretton of The Land Canadian Adventures in Lakefield, Ontario. Unfortunately, we had a couple of technical problems and there's quite a few sections that are blur. But because of time schedule, we couldn't redo the video, and I hope you can still enjoy it and still all the information comes across. I'm very sorry for that little issue. However, you know that all my newer videos are actually done with better cameras, and I'm trying as well to acquire better equipment all the time. So yeah, bear with me folks. I hope you still have a good time watching. Cheers. Okay folks, so now that we've marked it out, I'm gonna switch back to the Axe once more, and this, from here on, you could actually like completely finish the whole paddle with a draw knife. I just find that I love using the Axe and how quickly it takes the material off. What I'm doing from here is basically that I'm starting hewing the blade. What I'm doing is I'm gonna orientate myself a little bit on the middle line and just imagine one on this side, and I just slowly gonna take at a slight angle material off on both sides and gonna create a little bit of a center ridge line, so a little bit like a roof. That's gonna happen, and then I can actually, from about here on, I'm gonna point that out, I'm gonna take with the axe as well the center line off a little bit, because after all we might have a little bit of a ridge line running up here, just for more strength. In this part it has most of the strain and most of the torque, the bend rather than the torque. It's not really sideways, it's really like more of a bending. And then I'm gonna switch back to the draw knife. So from here I like using my mini chopping block again, and using one of my hewing axes that I'm gonna make another review on, because this is a very special piece, so I'm looking forward to that coming up. And I have to watch the grain direction very, very closely. This is a beautifully straight piece of wood. That's really coming down to how you choose it. But I might feel like there's gonna be some tearing happening, and then I have to switch side. So in the beginning I'm just making a couple of small nicks like we did in the beginning, and that's just gonna take a little bit of tension out of the wood and loosening it up a little bit, and then I can start taking this off just down to my line. If you're not comfortable going too close to the line, remember you only can take off material once. So measure twice, or if you don't feel comfortable going too close, that's not a problem. Leave it to the more controlled draw knife. So here we go. So this is gonna be the first set of cuts, and then I just move the cuts up a little bit, the board, just like this, and gonna take another set of material off. It's really important that your axe is sharp. I can't stress that enough. Only work with sharp tools. It's gonna leave a better finish and more control, because you don't need a lot of power. And there we see already our grain appearing with a very, very nice layer on top, just these nice circles. And I'm just gonna switch around to the other side, do that here, so you see the middle line appearing. Okay. So here we go. Both sides are hewed. I'm hewed it down to the line, maybe a little bit further. But that's not a problem because we got plenty of material left to work with. Very important is that we still have the middle line there. And as you can see, there is now a ridge line. It's maybe slightly visible. That is appearing here in the middle of the paddle. And I'm just gonna now, from not all the way up here, but maybe from about a third down or something of the blade, the paddle blade, I'm just gonna take this middle line off as well, because I want to gradually thin out the blade of the paddle. That's really one reason why I use ash. It's absolutely straightforward. Nearly to the point where I would say if you would use something like cherry or so, it's not gonna be that easy because cherry has way more curly grain and grain direction changes. And then I understand people using planes and spoke shapes because it's quicker to change directions. But with a piece of ash, birch, or maybe even hickory, these methods are absolutely great. And to be honest, ash is my preferred wood for paddles. It's maybe not the most stunning, beautiful wood as like bird's eye maple would be, or cherry. But it's a very, very strong and flexible wood.
Show off.
Yeah, nearly. Okay, here we go. So after we hewed out the paddle a little bit more, I clamp it back to the table, and now what follows is basically the most important part of the whole paddle carving process, because after all, your blade is what makes a paddle. What I'm gonna start out with now is, again at a slight angle, I'm gonna start working out my tool marks. Especially up here I stay at an angle because I want to keep this middle ridge line, and we're really lucky we're having a nice board with a very straight grain direction, so this is very straightforward. You might have to switch directions quite a lot when you carve the paddle here, and like if you feel a tear happening, don't rifle through it, because you're gonna really like create a big gouge in the middle of your paddle, and it's gonna really be hard to save it. So as soon as you feel a little bit of a tear happening, or like you're getting stuck in the grain, switch around the direction. Okay, so right here I feel like it's gonna be a little bit teary, so I'll leave it for now. Look at the grain, it's one on the side, if I see anything running out or so, and I just keep trying to work at an angle and create a very nice and flat surface. You can use a hand plane or spoke shape for this as well, but like I said before, I really enjoy using the draw knife. A little bit of tear here too, we have to do that from the other direction, not a biggie. ripply here. Nice. Keep aiming. It's the best thing you can do. The best gauge you have is your eye. So we have flats here at a slight angle. So there's a flat part in the middle with two ridge lines here running. So I just come in a little bit further to the middle and see if I can take that one off. There's another ridge line coming up, changing the angle, and I take that one off. That is way easier than taking whole surfaces off, basically creating little ridges. Keep aiming. And then there's this middle ridge that I want to keep up here, but I want it to get really thin and flat in the middle here. Remembering my fade. This leaves an absolute smooth finish, the equivalent of 2000 sandpaper and a buffer or something. If you have sharp blades and a dry piece of wood, all you need, or like rather that's all you need for a very smooth and very durable finish as well. So just to show you what I meant, I'm gonna reclamp this quickly. This is where I felt this little bit of a tear happening here. I decided to turn around and carve that from the other side. Just ease yourself into that direction, seeing where the grain direction starts and ends. Let's see what we got here. Okay.